Our first collection, our fourth story in the collection is called To the Woods. To the Woods. I stare at my own face in the mirror. All those years, all those shootings, it keeps wearing on me and I want out. Yet I have to look back at why I decided to join the force. I told myself that I would never ever be helpless ever again. What made me helpless was being a 17-year-old person, almost a woman, and watching a 10-year-old die right in front of me. I swore that I'd never go through that ever again. I want to protect and serve. That's what I told myself. I believed that I had nothing else to live for at that particular time because the only thing I could do was shake back and forth in the corner. You know, nerve wracking. Couldn't go to school, couldn't focus right. My mother was upset when she heard me say that this is going to be my life. I don't understand why she thought that me doing administrative work is more important than listening to my wishes. She doesn't understand what it's like to have a vigilante justice kind of heart. She never truly loved me anyway. You know, when Dad left us, that turned her into a complete narcissistic woman, and it was just unbearable. You know, she became a drunkard, and she became somewhat physically abusive after that because she was a leech. She never bothered doing things in the way that would be beneficial to her and to myself. So I decided to grow up a little bit faster for my own self. Much faster, a lot earlier. So what did I do? I skipped college and I went straight to the force to do what I said I'd do. Put it into this crap. I never liked being helpless. And I'll make sure I never feel like that ever again. But right now I have to stop focusing on the past and get in the car because my partner Jonas is waiting on me. I get a text. Are you coming or not? I snap out of it and rush outside. What took you so long? I want my coffee and egg sandwich, Jonas says. Didn't you just eat? I ask. Yes, I did, he replies. We get off. We get off Shelter Street and head toward Island Road. All along Packers Avenue, there's junkies everywhere. And they're homeless. There's so much litter around these people and it's insane. They sleep in tents around that litter. You can hear the subway, fire trucks, trash trucks, and everyone else. It's a noisy environment, a very, very noisy world. How do these people sleep outside with all the noise and litter? Are you coming in, Jonas asks? Like, what are you doing? He snaps me out of my wonderment of what goes on in the city. It's a city I call my city. This is where I grew up. This is what I call my home. But it looks a mess. I want to be among those who protect. There's too much violence and too much suffering. But then, of course, I can't stop sighing, taking in deep breaths, throwing my face into my hands, and so on and so forth. What's going on in that head of yours? Jonas waits patiently. Sorry, I spring out of the car. We head into Joe's Coffee, which is between a music, movie, book store, and a men's store. It's empty in Joe's Coffee. Well, there's one person on one side of the cafe and a few people on the other side. You know, for the past few months, this has to be the 9th child and also 10th child that went missing. What is going on here? A brother and a sister at the same time, this time only, ages 5 and 7. They're both missing. I don't know how long it'll take us to find them. I'm not telling anyone's mother and father that I cannot find their children, Jonas says. Right, I say. Are you worried about the case? Jonas wonders. He notices me dozing off again. I worry about everything. The other 8 are probably dead, but I don't want that to be true. I'm sorry I even said anything like that just now. I feel guilty. And I have too much anxiety. I understand, but guess what? We're not going to find these we're not going to find these 2 dead. We're just going to find them, and they're going to be alive. Even if it kills the 2 of us, Jonas is clenching his fists, and he almost pounds the table, knocking the coffee over. I read the report, and the report says that someone in a white van snatched them off the street and takes them to a warehouse. A man was live streaming in the area, trying to get some footage I believe he was supposed to be a private investigator, but after 14 minutes, the stream went dark. This is what I mentioned to Jonas. Are you ready, Jonas asked. I'm always ready, I reply. All right, the warehouse it is, Jonas says. As we're driving, we leave downtown. They told us that it's in an area past the oil refinery. We drive through an abandoned suburban neighborhood. The warehouse is just down the street through that suburban neighborhood. A few seagulls can be seen fighting over a sandwich. So that means that someone was here recently. But you know, sometimes people like to come into abandoned neighborhoods, throw graffiti. You know, well, not throw graffiti, but spray paint and whatever. You can hear crashing sounds in some of the homes. We quickly draw our guns. We go inside the warehouse. But of course, it's dark inside. There's broken glass everywhere. This warehouse was once owned by the airport. They used to contain clothing items, chewing gum, electronics, and whatever items you find in stores at the airport. A loud crash can be heard. I saw something, Jonas runs. After whatever he thinks he just saw, I run after him, but something hit the back of my head and ... To be continued.